You wash your face every night. It's part of the routine. Remove the day, let the skin breathe, prepare for sleep. But have you ever noticed that sometimes, even after the warm water and the cleanser, something still feels heavy? Like a quiet weight sitting just beneath the skin. It's not exhaustion. It's not just age or stress. It's energetic residue, what your face holds after a long day of absorbing tension, unspoken emotions, and the subtle friction of life. We don't talk about this layer often. You can't see it. But you can feel it, especially in the quiet, when everything slows down and you still don't quite feel released. That's where this ritual begins. Not with expensive products or complicated steps, but with a single glass of salt water and the intention to cleanse something deeper than makeup or surface fatigue. It's not magic, it's not superstition. It's about using a natural, ancient combination, water and salt, to reset the energy you carry, especially on your face. Because the truth is, the face tells more than age. It tells your story. It holds your reactions, your disappointments, and every moment you smiled through something heavy. There's a reason you feel better after a walk near the ocean, or after a quiet cry in the shower. Water moves energy. Salt holds memory. Together, they draw out what doesn't serve you and create space for what will. And when you combine them with a few slow, mindful steps before bed, you're not just cleaning your skin. You're restoring your field. You're allowing luck, clarity, and softness to return. You don't have to believe in anything special. You just have to believe that maybe, tonight, your face deserves more than a rinse. It deserves to let go, quietly, completely, finally. Number 1. Why salt water before sleep? You reach the end of the day. Maybe your body is tired, maybe your mind is cluttered, or maybe both. The lights dim, the house quiets, the phone finally rests face down, and yet something inside you still lingers. A tension you can't name, a slight tightness in your chest, a sigh that doesn't feel complete. You tell yourself it's just the day catching up with you, but what if it's more than that? What if you've been carrying other people's energy all day? Subtle comments, glances, decisions, expectations. And what if all of that isn't just in your thoughts but sitting right there on your face? That's where salt water comes in. Not just as a rinse, but as a reset. In spiritual traditions across cultures, from the Mediterranean to the Pacific Islands, salt water has long been seen not as a cure-all, but as a quiet transformer. Why? Because water moves. Salt holds. Together they create a force that draws out what doesn't belong and makes space for what does. In modern life, we've trained ourselves to be clean, but we've forgotten how to be clear. We exfoliate our skin but let resentment stay lodged in our energy. We remove our makeup but leave on the weight of everything we didn't say. Salt water isn't new, but what it can do for your energetic field, that's something we've stopped trusting. And now more than ever it might be exactly what we need. Because the face is more than just a mirror. It's a messenger. It shows fatigue long before we admit it. It remembers moments we try to forget. And even when we smile politely, our skin still holds the echo of every time we felt unseen, unheard, overlooked. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, why do I look so tired even though I slept? Or why does my face feel dull? That's not just age. That's energetic residue. The kind salt water knows how to draw out gently, thoroughly, and without judgment. Science tells us that salt has purifying properties. It draws toxins, it absorbs moisture, it even preserves. But beyond chemistry, salt is also memory. It remembers the ocean. It remembers storms that passed and tides that returned. And when you place a pinch of sea salt into water and bring it to your face with intention, you are tapping into something older than any beauty routine. You're inviting nature to help you release. And release is what nighttime is for. You see, day is for action, for performance, for noise. Night, however, is sacred. It's when the surface world quiets and your internal world speaks louder. If you go to bed without clearing what clung to you throughout the day, you don't really rest. You just pause. You wake up carrying yesterday's weight. And it builds. Emotionally, energetically, even physically, like a slow fog settling into your skin. Salt water before sleep isn't about fixing anything. It's about meeting yourself, just as you are, and offering your face the same grace you give to others. It's in this stillness, with salt and water in hand, that a ritual is born. And it matters how you do it. The water must be cool or slightly warm, not hot. Because hot water rushes, pushes, agitates. Cool water invites. It calms. It allows. You don't want your energy stirred, you want it softened. You don't want to strip yourself, you want to soothe. Think of this not as a cleansing but as a conversation. A few silent moments where your hands speak to your skin and say, "I know what you've held." And you don't have to hold it anymore. What makes this moment powerful is not the salt alone. It's the presence. When you prepare this water slowly, with a clear glass, a quiet corner, and a softened light, you're creating a space the modern world rarely offers. A pause. A place where nothing has to be fixed or solved. Just released. And in that release, energy moves. You may not see it instantly. There may be no glow in the mirror that night, but the shift has begun. Sometimes it starts with deeper sleep, or a lighter breath, or a thought that suddenly feels less heavy. That's how energy works, subtly, quietly, and then undeniably. You begin to speak with more ease. You notice small joys. Opportunities seem to appear not because they weren't there before, but because you finally have room to see them. That's what salt water does. It clears the window not of your face, but of your field. And it's not about belief. You don't have to be spiritual. You don't have to call it energy or vibration. You only have to be honest. Does your face ever feel tired beyond reason? Do you ever crave something more than rest, a kind of emotional exhale that sleep alone doesn't give? If so, then this ritual is for you. Not as a miracle, but as a method, a gentle, ancient way to remember that you are more than just a list of tasks, more than a calendar, more than a role. You are a field, and fields need clearing. So tonight, when the noise fades and the world stops asking for your attention, pour yourself a glass of water. Add salt, no measuring, just a pinch. Stir gently, and for once don't think of what you should have done today or what needs doing tomorrow. Just be with yourself. Let the salt water hold what you're ready to let go of. Let your face speak freely without words. Let stillness become your skincare. Let simplicity become your reset. Because the true ritual isn't what you put on your skin. It's what you take off your spirit. Number 2. Prepare your sacred little setup. The world we live in rarely pauses. We rush from one task to the next, even in our own homes. Counters are cluttered, screens glow late into the night, and the idea of creating a sacred space just for ourselves feels unnecessary, even indulgent. But what if I told you that the setup is not decoration? It's not a luxury. It's the very container that holds your intention. And in any ritual, no matter how small, the container matters as much as the content. If your ritual is the melody, then your space is the instrument, and no melody feels right if the instrument is out of tune. So before the salt and the water come together, before your hands even touch your skin, you prepare the space. Not a big, dramatic altar. Not an Instagram-worthy setup, just a quiet little corner where your energy feels like it can exhale, where your body doesn't have to brace, where your nervous system can finally soften. Because that's what healing responds to. Not effort but stillness. And that stillness doesn't appear by accident. You make it. Start with a glass. Not just any glass, but one that's clear, simple, and reserved only for this ritual. No cracks. No chips. Not the glass you drank juice from this morning or the one that's been through the dishwasher 500 times. Choose one that feels clean, not just in sight, but in meaning. Because when you pour water into it, you're not just filling a cup, you're holding energy. And your body can feel the difference between something that's casual and something that's sacred. Your hands will know. So will your heart. And when the glass is dedicated, used for nothing else, it becomes a container not just of water, but of intention. Now, water. This isn't about temperature alone. It's about sensation. You want cool or slightly warm water, not hot. Hot water agitates, rushes, pushes, but cool water holds. It allows. It reminds your system to breathe instead of react. When your hands dip into it, it should feel like relief, not shock. A quiet kind of comfort, like slipping into sheets after a long day. You're not trying to shock your body awake, you're guiding it gently back to rest. Think of this as emotional temperature, not just physical. What would soothe you right now? What would make your breath slow down a little? Than the salt. Use something clean, pure, ideally sea salt or plain white salt without additives, dyes, or perfumes. You don't need a brand. You don't need a label that promises the moon. You just need something that hasn't been tampered with. Something that still remembers the ocean. Because that's what salt is. It's Earth's way of holding the memory of water. And water, in turn, remembers motion. Together, they become more than ingredients. They become a medium. A field through which energy can move, leave, return. Keep this salt in its own small jar. Don't mix it with your kitchen supply. Don't scoop from the same bowl you use for cooking. Treat it like medicine, not because. The last element is the space itself. This doesn't need to be a room. A corner will do. But it must feel clean, not in the tidy sense, but in the way that you can sit there and not feel pulled in 10 directions. Turn off the TV. Leave your phone in another room. Dim the lights, not out of mood, but to invite your mind to slow. Bright, harsh lights tell the body to stay alert. Soft, amber light tells the body it's safe to drift. Candlelight is ideal, but a simple lamp with a warm bulb can do just as well. What matters is that you feel the shift when you enter this space, like the moment when the world becomes background and your breath becomes foreground. And then, sit. Just sit. For a few seconds. Let your body arrive. Let the day dissolve. No need to get into the right mindset. The setup already did that for you. It told your system you're safe here. You're allowed to let go. There's something powerful in that. Especially if your life has felt fast, crowded, or too full of noise. This little setup, this soft container, is the place where energy finally has permission to move. And when energy moves, things shift, often quietly, often slowly, but always deeply. This is how rituals become real, not through drama, but through presence. Through the message that says, I'm worth this moment. I'm worth this care. So yes, prepare the glass, choose the water, set aside the salt, find the light that softens your chest when you look at it, and then sit. Not because it's a rule, but because in that silence you'll realize this isn't about salt or water or glass, it's about you. Creating space, even in a cluttered world. Making quiet, even in a loud day. Offering your own face the same tenderness you've given everyone else. That's your sacred little setup. Not a place, not a ritual, but a quiet yes. A yes to pause. A yes to softness. A yes to the version of you that's been waiting all day to be held. Number 3. Begin the ritual. You're not washing skin, you're washing energy. This is where everything shifts from preparing to becoming. From thinking about care to receiving it. You've created a quiet space. You've chosen your glass, your salt, your water. Now, it's time to begin. And the truth is, it's not really about what your hands do. It's about how present you let yourself be while doing it. Ritual doesn't live in perfection. It lives in attention. In how your body slows. In how your mind stops rushing. In how your breath softens into the moment. That's what makes this more than a routine. That's what turns water into something sacred. Start by holding the water with both hands. Not because it's a rule, but because it helps your system understand this matters. This is not the same as doing dishes. This is not the same as washing your hands before dinner. This is your signal to yourself that something is about to be released. That tonight you're not carrying everything to bed again. Pour the water into the glass slowly. Let it make a sound. Let your ears catch that soft stream. That sound isn't noise, it's presence. It's the sound of flow, of transition, of something beginning. You don't have to say anything out loud. But if a thought rises, something like, let this be enough, or let me rest fully tonight, let it stay. That quiet intention is more powerful than you think. Once your glass is filled, place it down on a solid surface. Nothing wobbly, nothing distracting. Not the kitchen counter where bills are stacked. Not next to your buzzing phone. A grounded place, a nightstand, a wooden tray, a soft cloth on a corner table. Somewhere that says, this is separate, this is sacred. Now comes the salt. Take a small pinch with your fingers. No spoon, no measuring. Just your hand, because your hand knows. It carries your warmth, your intention. That touch from skin to salt activates something wordless. Let the salt fall gently into the water. Listen again. That soft drop, that tap at the bottom of the glass, it's the sound of beginning, of letting go. You don't need to watch it dissolve. You don't need to stir right away. Just notice. Notice what shifts in you when you do something slowly, with care, without the need to rush toward a result. When you're ready, begin to stir. 3 times, clockwise. Slowly, not just to mix but to open. To open space in your field, in your night, in your body. Stir once and think, let go. Stir twice and think, clear. Stir 3 times and think, welcome. You don't need to say it, just feel it. Let each circle be like a soft breath inside water inside you. Then stop. Let the water rest. Let it go still. That stillness isn't emptiness, it's readiness. This is where the ritual becomes physical. But not rough, not rushed. You're not scrubbing. You're not cleansing like you've been told to do since youth. You're not removing dirt. You're honoring the space between skin and soul. With clean hands, dip your fingertips into the water. Feel its coolness. Feel the salt that's now part of it. Then gently, gently bring the water to your face. Not all at once. Not like a splash, but like a quiet touch between old friends. Touch your forehead, your cheeks, your chin. These are the places that held the day for you. That carried expression, exhaustion, resilience. Don't rub, just press softly. As if saying, I know you've been through things, and I'm here now. Each time your fingers return to the glass and back to your skin, you're not just applying water. You're sending a message to your nervous system: it's safe to soften. It's safe to be seen. And even more than that, you're allowing what was never yours to begin, with other people's expectations, projections, judgments, to dissolve. Right here, quietly, without a fight, you may close your eyes, not to avoid water, but to return inward. And in that inward space, a simple whisper might rise. Let it. Something like, everything heavy, leave now. Or, I don't need to carry what's not mine. Or, I am ready to feel light again. You only need to say it once. But say it like you mean it. Say it like you've waited long enough. This moment is small, but don't underestimate it. You are not performing. You are not impressing anyone. You are simply letting your energy feel held, touched, cleansed, not fixed, not improved, just honored. And that alone can begin to restore you. You don't need to dry your face right away. If possible, let the water evaporate. Let it be absorbed by your skin slowly, naturally, fully. Don't rush to lotion. Don't reach for your phone. Stay in this softened state for a few more moments. Let your face feel air. Let your heart feel quiet. This is not skincare. This is soul care. And when it's done, really done, you'll feel it. Not like a dramatic transformation. Not like lightning. But like a sigh you didn't know you were holding. A spaciousness where there was once pressure. A sense that maybe, just maybe, you'll sleep a little deeper tonight. That's how rituals work. They don't scream. They don't sparkle. They hum. And they heal. So tonight, you didn't just wash your face. You didn't just follow a trend. You opened a space for energy to breathe again. You reminded your skin and your spirit that they are connected, that they belong to the same soft, powerful, worthy being, you. Number 4. Touch the water to your face where hurt has been hitting. Be now. Your water has stilled. The salt has dissolved. The space around you has softened. Your body is quieter. Your breath is slower. But the most intimate part of this ritual hasn't begun until you bring that water to your face. Because that's where it all collects. Not just makeup, not just dust, not just the wear of the day, but emotion. Expression. Everything you've held in, smoothed over, or absorbed without realizing. Your face is where you show up for the world. It smiles when you're not okay. It listens when you're tired. It answers kindly when your heart is bruised. And over time, it starts to store those moments not just in wrinkles or lines, but in energy. And you can feel it, can't you? That quiet tightness between your brows. The heaviness under your eyes. The way your jaw holds tension, even after you've stopped speaking. This part of the ritual is not about removing that. It's about meeting it, so gently. Dip your fingers into the water again, not in a hurry. Let your skin feel the coolness. Then lift your hand and bring it to your forehead. Let the water sit there for a moment. No need to rub, just a quiet touch. As if you're saying, I see what you've carried. Then move to your cheeks, your chin, the outer edges of your face, each place where energy tends to hide when we're busy pretending to be okay. You may notice emotions rise, memories, unexpected sadness, or even a simple exhale that feels deeper than usual. Don't push them away. Let the water carry them. That's why you're here, not to fix anything but to offer release. This isn't skincare. This isn't a facial. This is acknowledgement. This is you, looking at yourself not through a mirror but through sensation, through presence, through care that doesn't demand performance. Because somewhere deep down, you know you've been holding too much, for too long. And this is the first time in a while that someone finally reaches out to hold you. And that someone is you. Take your time. Let your fingers return to the glass if needed. Apply more water. Move slowly. Stay with the feeling, not the technique, because there is no perfect way to do this. No right number of drops. No rules. There is only presence. And presence is what clears the fog that's been sitting on your skin and your spirit. As you touch each part of your face, imagine a little thread loosening. One tied to disappointment, another to judgment, another to something someone said years ago that never quite left you. You don't need to name each one. Just imagine them softening. Let the water dissolve what your words could never quite express. If a tear comes, let it. That's water too. That's your body saying, yes, let's release this together. And when you've finished, when every area feels touched, not scrubbed, you may want to whisper something. A soft, personal invocation. Something like, I release what no longer serves. I allow peace to return to my face and to my energy. Or simply, I see you. I thank you. You don't have to hold it anymore. You don't need to say it loudly. You don't even have to speak it at all. Sometimes, your fingertips say more than your voice ever could. You've just done something rare. In a world that rushes you, judges you, and demands you show up looking put together, you paused. You looked inward. You didn't cover or conceal. You honored what's real. That's what makes this sacred dot, and the beauty is your face knows. Your skin knows. It will soften in ways you can't measure. Maybe not visibly tonight, but in how you sleep, how you speak tomorrow, how you meet your reflection in the mirror with a little less critique and a little more kindness. You've just reminded your body and your energy that it is loved, even in silence, even without makeup. Even when it's tired, tender, or undone, let the water air dry if you can. Let it sit there, like a blessing, like a balm. Don't blot it away too soon. And definitely don't cover it up right after. No creams, no perfume, no other layers. Let your skin breathe in this rare moment of nothing. Nothing added. Nothing demanded. Just presence. Because when was the last time your face was touched only to comfort it, not to fix, not to improve, not to judge? This moment may seem simple, but it's not small. In a quiet house, with a glass of water, a pinch of salt, and your own hands, you've begun something powerful. You've made space for energy to shift. You've cleared what's been clouding your light. You've chosen not to carry the day's noise into your dreams. You didn't just wash your face. You released what was hiding beneath it. Number 5. A whispered affirmation. Energy responds to intention. There's a moment, after the water has touched your skin and the silence has deepened, when something in you feels slightly more open. The weight hasn't disappeared, not completely, but it has shifted. It's no longer pressed so tightly against your chest. You've just released more than you realized, and now the energy around you is quiet enough to hear what matters most: your intention. This is the moment where the ritual deepens, not through action, but through language. Not loud, performative language, but quiet truth. A whispered affirmation. A sentence from your heart, carried on breath. Something simple but whole. Not because saying it makes it real, but because energy follows focus. And what you say when you're this still, this present, echoes more deeply through your field. Think of this moment like planting a seed. The soil has been softened by the salt water. The old weeds have been gently pulled away. What you say now won't be shouted, it will be sown. And over the next hours, days, even weeks, that seed will find its way upward. Not by force, but by float. You can choose your words. You don't have to follow a script. What matters is that they're real, grounded. Not exaggerated, not desperate. Just honest. Here are a few to begin with. Feel each one, and speak only what resonates. I release all that I've carried that was never mine. I welcome in ease, clarity, and quiet joy. I am safe to soften. I am safe to receive. Tonight I return to myself, and that is enough. You don't need to say it multiple times. Once is enough if you're present. Speak it gently, like a promise you intend to keep. Speak it for yourself, not for the world, not to convince anyone, not even to hope for immediate change, but to align, to remind the universe what you're now ready to live into. If you find your mind resisting, saying that's not true, or I don't feel that yet, that's okay. Say it anyway, not to deny your reality, but to gently nudge it toward a softer one. The goal isn't belief, it's willingness. The whisper is where energy responds. Because in spiritual traditions, the most powerful prayers are never shouted. They're breathed. They're released with humility, not with noise. Your system, your aura, your energy field, they don't need loud commands. They need clarity, stillness, a clear direction. And that's what you're offering. Let the affirmation rest in the space. Don't rush to fill the silence. Let it land. Let it echo. You've just spoken something gentle but deeply intentional. Don't follow it with a scroll through your phone. Don't mute it with conversation. Hold the space a little longer. Even 30 seconds of quiet after your words can let them root. This is the part most people skip. They do the action. They light the candle, they run the bath, they cleanse the face. But they forget the direction. They forget the moment of claiming. They forget that energy, even in ritual, asks, "Where are we going next?" And your whispered affirmation becomes the answer. You may choose to write it down if you'd like, in a notebook you keep by your bed, or on a small slip of paper tucked beneath your pillow. Not as a task, but as a quiet tether between your inner voice and your waking life. Something to return to in the morning, not to evaluate whether it worked, but to remember what you asked for. Because when you speak softly to yourself, the world begins to respond differently. Not immediately, but steadily. Life may offer a little more grace. People may interrupt you less. You may interrupt yourself less. And opportunities may come not because you chased them, but because your field became more magnetic, more available, more coherent. That is the unseen power of intention. It rearranges things, internally first, then externally, almost imperceptibly, until you suddenly realize you're not forcing things as much. You're not clenching. You're not trying so hard to fix. You're just letting alignment lead. And the thing is, you've always had access to that. You've always had the words inside you, the knowing, the longing. All this ritual does is clear enough space for you to hear it, to say it, to choose it. So tonight, after the salt has done its work and your skin is still damp with care and your hands are calm, offer the affirmation. Gently, honestly, whisper it like a gift, not because you're hoping for magic, but because, on some level, you've finally remembered you are magic. Not flashy, not loud, but quiet, healing, magnetically enough. You didn't just wash your face, you reset your field. And your whispered words, they're the new frequency now humming through your energy. They're the truth that walks with you into sleep, and perhaps even into tomorrow. Number 6, stay quiet, let the energy sink in. You've poured, you've touched, you've whispered, and now the most important part begins. The not doing, the not fixing, the not rushing to fill the silence, because silence is not an absence here, it's the medicine. This is the part we often overlook. We're so used to productivity, to progress, to doing the next thing, that we forget healing doesn't always happen in movement. Sometimes it happens in the moment after, the one where we don't interrupt, the one where we simply let what we've stirred settle. So stay, just a few minutes longer. Let the water dry naturally on your skin. Let it soak in, not just into the pores, but into your field. If you must dry your face, do so with a clean, soft cloth. Pat, don't rub. Think of it like tending to something newly planted. You wouldn't press it down. You'd let it breathe. Don't apply anything on top. No lotion, no makeup, no fragrance. Your skin has just been opened to something subtle and new. Let it stay clean, not in the surface sense, but in frequency. Adding too much right now is like speaking over a quiet truth that's just been spoken. Even more important than your face, protect the energy around you. This means no scrolling, no texting, no noise if you can help it. Not because screens are bad, but because they scatter. You just did something deeply centering. Stay there a little while. Let your nervous system understand this calm is allowed to last. If you live with others, you don't have to explain. Just slip into the quiet. Let the house dim. Maybe turn off the main lights. Maybe put on soft instrumental music. Or maybe just listen to the air. Let your body notice that nothing is being asked of it right now. Nothing is expected. You're not performing. You're not producing. You're simply being. And in that being, the ritual finishes its work. Because rituals are not linear. They ripple, they echo. The salt and water did the cleansing. The affirmation set the direction. Now the energy settles, it rearranges, quietly, invisibly, not on your schedule, not according to your logic, but on its own rhythm, like the tide retreating after the wave. You don't need to feel a big shift. You don't need proof. Some nights, the change will be immediate, a deeper sleep, a sudden clarity. Other nights it'll be quieter, like waking up with slightly softer shoulders, or noticing less reactivity in the day ahead. Either way, trust this: you've shifted something, because energy doesn't always announce itself when it moves. Sometimes, it just slips out the back door, taking with it the weight you didn't know how to name. So give yourself this one final gift: go to sleep gently. Not distracted, not halfway in, but truly surrendered. Let this be the one night where you don't review the day, rehearse tomorrow, or question whether the ritual worked. Let the energy you invited in do its work with you, not through you. Lay down like someone who knows they are held, because you are, by the intention you set, by the space you made, by the quiet you chose over noise. And that quiet, it doesn't end when you close your eyes. It deepens. It wraps around you like a soft field. It reminds every cell, you are safe now. You are supported. You don't need to brace. That's the beauty of stillness. It doesn't fix, it doesn't rush, it just holds. So hold yourself here, for one last breath, one last moment. Then let sleep take you, not as escape, but as integration. Not as pause, but as a continuation of everything you just began. Because what you did tonight, it wasn't just a face ritual. It was a return, a reconnection, a remembering. And when you wake up, don't ask, did it work? Just notice. Notice how your energy meets the world. Notice what no longer feels heavy. Notice what arrives gently, without effort. You didn't just wash your face. You opened a space where energy could enter. And now, in this quiet it is. Finally, tonight you did something many people go their whole lives without doing. You made space for yourself. Not for your to-do list, not for another person's needs, not for one more thing to fix, but for quiet, for softness, for something sacred. You didn't just wash your face, you cleared the static that collects when we keep going without pause. You invited a shift not with force, but with care. Salt, water, breath, intention, these aren't mystical things. They're elements your body already understands. They're tools your nervous system recognizes. And when you bring them together with presence, you do more than soothe your skin. You recalibrate your field. You come back into coherence. Science has words for this: parasympathetic response, energetic release, electromagnetic balance. But you don't need those words to know that something in you just softened. That tonight felt different. More grounded, more honest, more real. Maybe this becomes your new ritual. Maybe you return to it once a week, or once a month, or maybe just when the world feels heavy and your face starts whispering, "I'm carrying too much." However often you return, know this: what you did tonight matters. It sent a signal to your body, your energy, your life: I'm ready to stop surviving and start softening. I'm ready to stop bracing and start receiving. And that's where wealth begins, not just financial, but energetic, emotional, spiritual. Because when you clear the clutter, both outside and in, opportunity has a place to land. When you let go of what isn't yours, you're free to welcome what is. Thank you for spending this time with me, for trusting yourself enough to slow down, for showing up, not for anyone else but for your own stillness. I know how rare that is, and I know how powerful it can be. Tonight, may your sleep be deep, may your heart feel lighter, and may tomorrow greet you with the softness you gave yourself this evening. You deserve it. All of it. Good night, beautiful soul.